All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the home of the Ravens. Sold out M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Like that. Take me up. Here we go.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Elliott. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 75 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Check out. 540. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Luck. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Ravens they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized. In the lock.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
After the interception, it's long. Complete to Washington. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Love. Hard throw, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Oh, that one got away from him. Short distance kick, miss, no good, way wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
At the 24-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action. Now Wilson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also So a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Fight, ladies. Let's go, team. It's gonna be It's gonna be a long day. Check it backer. Chef. Switch. Back.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Any day. Mike, 59.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Throw in this league, throw 4 interceptions in a game, and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
It's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Hey, we got to see him.
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past her.
This is taken at the 3.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10.
Let's go.
27-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Back to the air. Luck on second down. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. Fighting through it. He's got space. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Jaguars. Devontae Freeman, 73 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Well, since we don't have a rooting interest in this one, neither one of us wanted to see this one get out of hand too early. Here we are in the first quarter. That was an important response for them to score, already down 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And that's Elliott. Complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. So 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now Wilson. And he's going to have to hook up here with Harry. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Wilson. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Here's Luck. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they are going to take over. 22-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles. And I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup. 2nd and 3.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Washington's got it. 2nd catch of this AFC title game, but he's got a 1st down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Luck now, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down.
Recon, 132 fighter.
From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Luck. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 21 yards away, as his guys are back within a single score.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting the ball in the end zone, that took them away from the brink of possibly being knocked out of this game.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Wilson to throw again. This will be caught by Brown. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 45-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Check. 50. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. 59, Mike. 59.
Now Wilson on 1st down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the 1st half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who are getting 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play, and facing a 2nd and long. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. AFC title game, 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
3rd and long. It's Locke. He's going to rifle one deep. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 45 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Locke gets it off to Freeman. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Locke. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Second and 10, Luck again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So it's a 2nd missed field goal here in this 1st half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the 4th down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, one more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. This is taken at the 3. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down, it's Carson. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 34.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's enough job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Carson. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. It's a first down following a gain of 3. On 1st down, Luck. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back to throw. Luck. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. From 8 yards out, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
So in play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Wilson. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 29. And yes, folks, that is his 5th interception, a new NFL record.
And that's absolutely phenomenal. I just have to flat out applaud him. What a great effort in this game. But let's face it, when you look back at the numbers of guys who have had 4 in the past, you'll find the names of some of the greats and some guys who just had a fantastic game.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. On second down now, it's Carson, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Carson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Check 4, check 4.
On 1st down, it's Freeman. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll try the air now with Locke. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
36.
Here's Carson. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They run it with Carson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Hey, Charlie!
Tackle. Mike!
Now Luck on 3rd and goal. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Lamb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Draw play, Elliott. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2nd and 5 now. Wilson, that's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Has several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Letting one go deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run. Devontae Freeman. Oh, and now some space to operate. The 40. The 30. 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Devontae Freeman. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because
and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
11 feet. Here we go.
Now it's Luck. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
And that absolutely cannot happen. Just a gain of a yard in this situation, you've got to get chunks of yardage. Otherwise, the defense, very happy with what you're doing.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
Check out. Line 40. Talk. We got to step it up.
Luck now to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
12.
Now Luck. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Powers through again. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
12.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
Go. Alert. Check. 59. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Here's Wilson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. This for a trip to the Super Bowl. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. This for a trip to the Super Bowl. And this one is right through. Really a great season. Not a whole lot to hang their head about.
Not at all. And, you know, the winning side, they're so ecstatic. They're going to the Super Bowl. But for the guys that we're talking about, they've got to figure out how it's going to go next year. Are they going to be motivated by this loss? Or will this loss linger and really make them, make it tough for them to come out of the gate strong next year? Only time will tell. But they've got to find a way to use this loss and use it as motivation.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.